Hey everybody, my name is Isaac, and this is a video that I was not planning to make at all, but as I'm doing this process that I'll show you in a minute, I thought that it could be useful for some people out there, and it helped me learn something that I didn't know up until about 2 weeks ago. So I helped my friend buy this 2013 Toyota Corolla, and pretty low miles, got it for a good deal. But as we were driving off the lot, he noticed that it didn't have cruise control. Wasn't the end of the world, but he said, man, I would really like cruise control in this car. That stinks, I got a base model. Oh well, it's a Corolla, it's gonna go forever. I'll just deal with it on long road trips. But I had recently been talking with my friend Jake after I filmed my history of the Toyota Tacoma video, because his dad has a base second generation Toyota Tacoma, and it has cruise control. And I didn't think a lick about it, except he mentioned his dad did not originally have cruise control in the truck, but did some research online and added it. And I figured, oh my word, that must be a super complicated process to add cruise control to a car. Turns out it's not. And so I researched it for my friend Ben, who owns this 2013 Corolla, and I said, I think I can add cruise control to your car. And so I did online forum scouring, and I found out that you can. What Toyota does on some of these late 2000s, early 2010 models is they have all of the plugs and the switches for where cruise control would go on the base models. They just include it, and you kind of just have to get to it and plug it in. It's not a super complicated process. But the most difficult part for me was finding the cruise control stock. So, where is it? Here we go. The cruise control stock is about $150 to $200 online, depending on where you get it. That was just the first few results that I found on Google. Though there is a salvage yard fairly close to where I'm located called Harry's You Pull It. There's actually quite a few locations near me in Pennsylvania. And I've been there a few times, and I said, I bet I could get a cruise control stock off of a different Corolla. So that's what I did. Yesterday, I went out and I found a Corolla that had been in an accident, but it still had the cruise control stock functioning with the wire. And I got it for like 15 bucks. And so I brought it back, and still not 100% sure if my friend had the connections on his car. I unplugged everything here, and I found out he does. And so as I'm in this bee wants to get in the video. Sorry, there's this 15 seconds of fame. So I want to take you through really quick the process of adding cruise control to this Corolla, because there wasn't a video that I could find that was either very clear or on this specific body style of Corolla. So I want to tell you what I did, what the process is that I'm doing right now to add cruise control. So the first thing I did here is I unplugged the battery. That's super important, because if you're adding, if you're touching anything that's near an airbag, you don't want the airbag to go off. So I let that sit for about 5 to 10 minutes, let the battery drain, so I'm not risking the airbag going off. And then what I did is I'll kind of put this together lightly for you guys to show you how to do it. So there's a hole right here, and there's a hole on the other side with a T30 screw hole. So on each side there's one T30 holding the steering wheel on. And once you disconnect the T30s on both sides, you can kind of lift up the airbag here. Now you got to be very delicate, because obviously it's an airbag, and even though you have it disconnected, you want to make sure nothing goes off, no things happen. So steering wheel is up here. I'm going to change angles for you really quick, because it would be awkward to hold my phone like this the whole time, and I'll show you how to add cruise control. Maybe you have a similar year Corolla that doesn't, and I'll show you how to do that. So here is the steering wheel, the steering column. And what's cool is here is the spot, the 2 holes right here for the cruise control stock. So what you would do is you'd slip this through, and I have the screws. I picked those off of the old one. And the cruise control stock will just sit right in here. And at the salvage yard, I also picked up the piece with the hole in it for the cruise control. So it's not just a hanging open part like that. So it's 2 Phillips heads that go into here. And I picked up the wire that connected it. So what that wire is going to do is that's going to plug in right here. And then this part, this is for the horn, I'm pretty sure, doing my research online, is gonna plug in right up here. So I'm gonna disconnect this one right here and put this one in, so that should give us the horn, and this is plugged into right there. And then I just have to put the assembly back together and we should have cruise control. Not a super complicated process. Let me snap to it real quick. So first thing I did is I just used tweezers to unhook this because it's pretty hard to do by hand, that plug right there. So now I'm gonna plug this guy in right there. So that's plugged on there pretty snugly. Okay, so that's there. Then I am going to get a Phillips head and screw this in right there. All right, screws are in place right there. Moving it forward, up and down, clicking it in, it's all set. This is plugged in, this is plugged in. So now, all I should have to do is put this back on. All right, I have the steering wheel back together. Here is the cruise control stock. This Corolla had a little bit different color gray cover, but that is more than okay to add cruise control for 15 bucks. Put those back on the other side, and now all I have to do is reconnect the battery. Boy, I hope this works, or this would be very awkward. I guess you won't be seeing this video if it doesn't work, because why would I upload it if it didn't? All right, we're driving it, and cruise is set. I'm going about 45 here on this road, and it actually has the buttons for set and the little cruise control thing already, I guess, also pre-installed on this. And it works, you know, hitting it up works. This is so cool. This is like one of the, it's like finding out a secret that you never knew. And it's so cool. So that's how to add cruise control for 15 bucks.